Mic on.
All right, can you guys hear me? Guys hear me? Uh-huh. Guys hear me? Uh-huh. Guys hear me?
Mic
Uh-huh.
off.
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 Guys hear me?
Mic off.
Guys hear me?
Mic on.
All right, can you guys hear me now? It should be clearer. This fucking thing is a pain in the balls, man. I swear to God. Very frustrating. All right, so all the way up to this resistance area. Let me pull up my little chart. Okay, right up against the resistance area. Definitely we got that erection that we were talking about. It just continued on into the late afternoon. And now we're waiting for that break. Okay, now it doesn't have to happen here. All right, but these are points that are valid from the previous highs. And the structure is not really complete. You can, make an argument that, this is the structure in here. Okay, that's fine. But again, without a hook here, it doesn't really matter what the bottom one is, right? You need the hook here or wherever it's going to hook. All right, it could be up here somewhere, right, or up here somewhere. We don't know. So you got to wait. And like I said, it's going to be a very boring day. It's just going to grind up, put everybody to sleep, particle market, blah blah blah. And, you know, there's not much more to say. We are at the highs of the normal upper boundary of a daily move, which is about 2.4% right now. Anything above 2 is that area that you expect the market to kind of start to stall, if not reverse. Small caps continue on up. Okay, haven't really made it to the top, but again, I want to emphasize what I said this morning, right? It's a thin, thick, thin. Right? That's what we're looking for. That's what we're expecting. That's what it looks like it's going to happen. S&P 500 continues up. Again, this is the clearest chart. Um, it doesn't have that same kind of um, resistance that the Nasdaq does. Okay, so I like this one better. All right, you don't know where this is going to end, but it is a tight, tight, tight move up. Okay, right in there. Let's take a look at the fags. Upper boundary of this little wedge. Again, so long as it remains within this structure in here, oops, right in here, okay, the bias is to the upside. Once it breaks, different story, right? Then everything changes. Then you're looking for the wave 3 down. Transportation up against resistance. Nothing has really changed. All right. Russell continues higher, higher. Airlines pulled back. China continues to push higher. Emerging markets, Japan, Australia, nothing's changed, right? Australia is continuing its push higher after this inverted head and shoulders, so that's good. It's doing what it's supposed to. Nifty 50 still stuck up there. Korea pushing higher. Uh, Europe is weak. Germany is pushing higher, but it's way below the resistance area, and UK is the UK. Nothing to say about that. All right, so now what? We wait. We wait. Could you take a short here? Risk reward? Yes, absolutely you could. You're in the upper boundaries of the daily movement of 2+ percent. You do have this descending uh, resistance area. Okay, from a risk reward standpoint, which is everything that we do here, right? We're just looking for the best risk reward. You could take a short here. All right. Uh, Next potential area to take a short would be above this area, all the way at the top. But you run into a problem because you're coming into that resistance area, the longer term resistance area from tops, right? Everything in here has been a resistance. So, you keep knocking on the door, eventually it's going to give. Eventually it's going to give. In terms of point of control, okay, and again, it's not the 5 minutes or 15 minutes or 1 minute or whatever. As long as you capture the move from this structure here, right, on in, then you can see what the volume is, where we are in the value area, where we are relative to the point of control. Um, so nothing much has changed. Okay, you see how volume starts to taper off rapidly above this point, the secondary point of control. All right, it's not really a point of control, but the secondary peak of the volume. And that's because it's all-time highs, right? We're going to start going to all-time highs after that. S&P. Again, we're outside of the value. Wait, let me make sure I got it right. We're outside of the value area where 70% of all trades went off. We are now in La La Land. Okay, very thinly traded up here. Okay, and it gives us that confirmation that thin, thick, thin is a very likely possibility. Just gotta wait. Remember, price is just an advertising mechanism, right? It's just advertising, and it doesn't mean that it's correct. I mean, it is if you're short or long, for you it's everything, but don't confuse price with value. Not the same thing. Anything else popping out? No, nothing really. Let's see what the 10-year is doing in the dollar. Oil is flat for the day. Dollar is pushing back lower. 10-year. That's interesting. 10-year. 0.78. Look at that. Very nice. This is a small time frame. It's 15. But still, see these spikes, right? Doesn't want to go any lower. So, again, short term. The higher the interest rates go, okay, on the 10-year, the more pressure it puts on stocks. So you don't want, if you're bullish the stock market, you don't want this to be going higher, even if it's for a short period of time. It's not what you want. I would be concerned if I was a bull. Let's take at the volume weighted average since the top, and we're just above the point of control on the bigger picture, right? Since we started to sell off, and we're right at it right now. Okay. Another way you can look at it is to look at the 63-day moving average, and you would have to go on the daily to do that. Why 63? Because it takes hedge funds about 3 months to put on a position. And obviously, let me take out all this noise. Obviously, you can see that it came down several times, tested the 63, then bounced. Okay. So they're still bullish, and rightfully so. If you're going to print another $2.3 trillion and dump it into the economy, which is going to go into the stock market, why the fuck would you be bearish, right? Now, somebody yesterday asked me, can this be a wave two? Answer is yes, absolutely. You can see it, right? It's a thrust down move, push back up, and then you get the resolution to the downside. Do I think it is it? No. Uh, for now, I don't have any evidence to support that, but you can definitely make a good assumption that the probability that this is a wave two is very likely. Very likely. All right. Let's put on the noise. Boring. Boring, boring, boring. Now, if you remember yesterday, what I said into the close, after everything started falling apart, that this would behave like a magnet. And it did. And it did. Until the tweet came out where everybody started talking about, oh, we're going to bail out the airlines and we're going to bail this person. You see, right? It's double talk. Right? And no president should be able to do that. You can't fuck with the markets. So frustrating. Anyway, and then as soon as the tweet came out, boom, market went right back up. Okay. Manipulation. And you can chart the shit out of it. Say, yeah, I got this down, I got this down. One tweet, one, bullshit line, and everything is off to the races, right? Everything changes. And that's why you've seen this huge, huge volatility, which is really untradeable. Untradeable. Look at that. 223 and it's pushing higher. It's very excited. Fear of missing out. Buy, buy, buy. In an hour, they're going to be saying, sell, sell, sell. Watch, it's coming. It's going to come. Trump is the master of fuckery. Remember when it was trade wars? Oh, trade wars. Oh, trade wars. Yes, buy the market, trade wars. We're imposing tariffs, trade wars. We're coming up with a deal. It's a phase one deal. What happened to that? Anybody give a shit? Nope. But it triggered a shitload of algos, didn't it? Mm-hmm. They found a trick, and that was back here. Right? Trade wars. Yes. Trump said we're going to have a phase one. Trump says we're going to start working on phase two. Trump says that he likes China. No, now China doesn't like Trump. Now Trump doesn't like China. Now they're friends again. There's progress in the trade wars. Now we have a vaccine. Trump is not dying. Uh, by the way, he's going to start selling his miracle blood that can cure you in 3 days. Vaccine, stimulus, more stimulus, lending facilities. Mm-hmm. Yep. As long as the market is going up, there's no COVID, there's no nothing. The economy is doing great. Doesn't matter if you're not making money, unemployed. Republican socialists, just like what is it, Democratic socialists or something? These guys are Republican socialists, but for the top 5%. It's Nancy Pelosi's fault. It's China's fault. It's everybody else's fault, but it's never Trump's fault. Unbelievable. As long as Trump can say something that can push the market higher, he will do it. Let's take a look at the Nasdaq. Up against that resistance area. The previous high here is going to be the ultimate test of this move. By the way, let's finish off this. It ended up being 1, 2, 3. Okay, it breaks the previous low just a little bit right here. Okay, completes the 1, 2, 3 structure, and then off it goes. Not this high usually, but it does have the potential to go as high. We never know when a wave is going to end. So we had a 1, 2, 3 down, and then a bigger 1, 2, 3. So this whole move here, right in here, was a 1. Okay, then we got the 2, then the 3, and then boom. I'll take all this stuff out. So now we're looking for this. Right? Which really means it's more of a consolidation in this area. Okay, it's just a continuation. Now, if it fails here and you start getting this, you know, rooftop-looking pattern, again, that's bearish. That usually resolves to the downside. The whole structure resolves to the downside. We're not there yet, and I'm not telling you that's what's going to happen. But if the structure is valid and it does fail here, then we will start looking for something that's going to be much deeper than this normal sideways correction. Let me take this out so we don't confuse anybody. Be very mindful when I'm giving you projections versus what's really happening, right? And then also be mindful of short periods versus longer term periods. They're not the same thing. They're different analysis. You're looking for the clues. You're looking for the data to tell you what is going on. Another thing that I emphasize, the crossing of a line in of itself does not mean much. Okay, so um, I know there's a lot of guys that whip themselves to death right in here. You cross the line, I'm out. Oh, okay, it's back in. Now I'm short. Now I'm long. Now look for the structure. Understand structure. Understand what the market is telling you. Learn how to read a chart. Price is just advertisement. I'll keep saying that. That's my new thing now. I feel like I should start tap dancing for you and singing. There's nothing really to talk about. It's the same boring thing. It's 2:30. Nothing's really happened except an acceleration to the upside, right? Here is another example right here, the previous high. Okay, you had a little sell-off here, and then it was bought right back up, right? And then you had that consolidation right in here. Okay, that's a high base. You don't get topping patterns or reversal patterns when there's consolidation. Okay, same thing here. If it starts to consolidate in here, then you're expecting more upside, right? So it's the same thing here. There was a consolidation in here. This should have broken out. Piece of news comes out. Boom. Right? Same thing here. Boom. Right? Thin. And then the thin is not as long as this, but thin. And then you get into that thick, thin, right? Thick. And then we're looking for another move down. This is total capital expenditures, right? Look at the big drop off here, right? You need that to be going up. And stimulus for the people was supposed to do that, right? That's the whole point of printing trillions of dollars. That didn't happen. Hence the problem. Utilities continue to uh, lead on a 5-day. Let's see what it's doing daily. Materials now are outperforming. Consumer discretionary popped for the day. Industrials, healthcare, information technology. Right. So you look at something like this and you're like, oh, information technology. Let's see what the fangs are doing, right? That should trigger in your head. See what that means. And it's doing nothing, right? In this sideways consolidation. Let's take a look at the point of control for the last 2 days. $34.05 for today. Too much. See, not a lot of buying in this last move up, right? Not a lot of buying. Of course, it's lunchtime, so yeah, not too much to say about that. But the value for today is 34.04. Let's see if the money supply has updated. Weren't we near? There we are, near Nigeria. August. Still in August. Lagging. Earnings 3.42. This is what I'm talking about. When you have interest rates on the 10-year rising, okay, and the earnings yield on the S&P falling, it's putting pressure on stocks, right? And remember, it's not PE, it's EP to get the earnings per share. Let's see what the 10-year is. That's the dividend yield, right? Keeps falling, 172, 0.76. All right. Deficit's 27.026. Let's see if they try to sneak anything past us. Minutes, Federal Open Market Committees. Garbage. We're still waiting for that thrust move down into the close. Anybody have any questions about anything? What's Bitcoin doing? Ethereum, Litecoin. Gold. Real estate. Copper. See, this is what I mean. That every time it does like a little hook, all the shorts are like, okay, okay, now it's gonna reverse. Now it's gonna reverse. Now it's gonna reverse. Now it's gonna reverse. Now, oh yeah, that's gonna reverse. Just puts them to sleep. Same thing with the bulls. Oh, it's going up. Okay, I'll just leave it. Just a little longer. Just a little longer. Okay, I'm making more money. Okay, I'll just be patient. It's like watching paint dry. Oh, I'm so old. I remember that. Well, if Trump doesn't get elected, the market would crash. Remember that? Now they're like, well, Biden is going to spend more than Trump, if that's possible. But that's why the market is going up. uh, uh, just randomly say whatever you want. Yeah, if the market is going up, it makes sense because you're going to say something to support that view. And then as soon as the market goes down 2%, well, this could be a top. We can't keep printing forever. I'm not doing coke. I'm taking my nose drops. Yeah. So again, if you cannot understand how to read a chart, you don't understand value, you don't understand macros, uh, it's going to be very difficult to be an investor, right? It's not going to help you with these moves. Tweets, short-term trading, it's not going to help you. Mm-mm. Nope. This is randomness. This is pure manipulation. It's not even hidden. By the way, today's industrial production in Germany came in very weak, very weak, and those guys are net exporters, so that's a problem. It just shows how weak the global economy is, right? Denmark's interest rate is negative 0.6%. Ooh.
Mic off. Mic on.
Boring. Here's Germany's industrial production, negative 9.6. Right? Not good. Not good at all. Taking a look at the NASDAQ up against this resistance area. Previous high over here doesn't really count as much. Okay, not much as the previous high. Uh, you know, if it's holding price here with an hour left to go in the market, um, can you call this a high base correcting through time? Right? See it? If you were to chart this, let's take it to a 1 minute. Right? See it? An F flag, big ass F. And it's correcting through time. High basing. Minute chart, sure, but it's not like we have a whole lot of time. Uh, my phone doesn't understand what I'm saying.
Mic off. Mic on.
Again, for the new guys, just because you're charting something doesn't mean you trade it, right? It's not the same thing. You're charting it, you're trying to figure out what's going on, and then once you see that sweet spot, that very high probability trade, you take it. Um, but don't think that everything I chart out that that's a tradable signal. It's not. You're just reading the message of the markets, all of the markets, everything, right? Contrasting that with macroeconomics. And the macro right now is you're going to get money or you're not going to get money. It's that simple. So somebody asked, well, the market going to go up or down? What is it going to do? Well, if I knew that, then I would be the richest man in the world. It's not that simple. You got to wait. You got to wait. You got to be patient. Yesterday I was so close. I'm telling you, I was so close to closing my short here. So close. I mean, I even messaged it to subscribers that I'm going to close the position because it looked like it was really actually taking off. Okay, you had a drop here, you had a pop here. And I'll show you what I mean. All right, you had this kind of structure here. Right, broke the bottom, broke the top. It looked like it was taking off, and then boom! In a matter of seconds, the whole thing just collapsed. Right, so I didn't trade all the other things I was charting. Okay. Gotta wait for the sweet spot. Look at that. Coming into 3 o'clock and it's barely moving. Barely moving. It's stuck. Right? This is a high base. That's a high base correcting through time. By the way, the Nasdaq now is up 2.5657% for the day. Slightly above the normal upper range. Not lately, but typically. Nasdaq, not Nasdaq, small caps are up 2.74%. Right, testing this previous high. All right, again, a thin, thick would bring it all the way to the top. This was the breakout. The structure is pointing one way, the move is in another way, right? That's why reading charts is important. That's the burden of proof for the bulls on a very small time frame. It's a minute. But if you're going to keep pushing higher, you must stay above this trend line. So they have to keep buying at a higher and higher price. But remember, volume is falling off, right? Think of it like someone in the middle of the night is removing sand underneath a house, and the house is still standing, but at some point it will collapse. So if we look at this on a daily, look at it, see? All the volume is down here. Over here is very little volume. Look at the gap here. Barely any volume.
Mic off. Battery low. Mic on.
Boring. You see how they put people to sleep? Small little moves up, no volume, keeps grinding higher. Hopium on both sides. Kind of reminds you of yesterday, right? We're in a particle market going straight up. Everything is fine. Everything is breaking out. Yeah, it's wonderful. And boom.
Mic off. Mic on.
You see how volume is picked up the higher it went, right? Distribution. Um, Price is not pushing higher. Falls off dramatically as it goes a little bit higher. Now this is again, it's a minute chart, so but things to take note of, right? Nothing is the holy grail of analysis, but when you listen to the message of the market, you kind of get the feel as to what's really going on, right? So you get an increase and then a dramatic sell-off, and then you're in the structure here that's defined, right? All the hooks, everything is in place, 4 points. It's having a little bit of difficulty getting to the top, right? So the rate of rise is weakening, okay? Pushing back down, see if it can find support here, right? This is where the most volume has gone off uh, recently, and we have about 43 minutes left in the trading session. 70% of all trades since this morning went off down here. All right, so we're a little bit in la la land. Even though there's increased volume, right? That's more distribution than actual buying for now.
Mic off. Mic on.
Now, never lose sight of the big picture, right? Right up against this resistance area in here, right? Or potential resistance area. That's more accurate.
Mic off. Mic on.
All right. Well, clearly, this little uptrend here, again, it's a small time frame, has broken. Structure below structure, right? Starting to break down. And we have about 37 minutes left in the trading day. Falling below this point of control in this area here, or the secondary high for the day in terms of volume. So we'll see. Again, guys, I'm not an entertainer or a TV personality, believe me. uh, Trading, well, investing is actually very boring. Very boring. Again, I don't sit here and look at the charts all day long. That's not what I do. This is only for a demonstration so you guys can understand waves, structures, risk reward. What occurs on a 1 minute chart occurs on dailies, monthlies, weeklies, 4 hour, 1 hour. It's all the same. There we go. There's a sell-off. And it's coming at 328. Again, we were saying the way it was, forming here with that sharp drop in volume as price rose, you know, doesn't look very promising, right? Not that it doesn't, not that it can't, price can't do, go straight up. Look what happened here, right? But again, one piece of information is not enough. We are near the top of the range for the daily movement up. We're outside of 70% of the volume for the day. Uh, we are retracing a fuckery move from yesterday. So we're up against resistance in the NASDAQ, right in here, right in here. Forget about the volume here, right? So it's a confluence of information. That's why I say let the data tell you what is going on. It's not hard. Guessing is big no-no. Buffett didn't become Buffett because he was guessing better than everybody else. Small caps now up 3.7% for the day. Look at that, right? To match previous highs, it would have to rise another 0.3, so it would be 3.35 for the day. S&P would need another 0.2. Starting to break the structure, right? Fully developed. Showing weakness. I'll be right back.
Mic off. Charging battery. Mic on.
All right, back. Maybe I should have stayed away, huh? Always works like that. You know, it's getting closer and closer to that point where it either puts up or shuts up, right? It's either going to break or up or down. Again, note the weakness here, right? Didn't quite make it to the top. And 23 minutes left for the trading day. Remember, this is the value area in here. So price is falling towards it. And the more it falls, the less volume there is, less support it will find, especially towards the end of the day. And we could see a move at least to this area. I'll leave it here for now. And I don't like targets. My target area is, that's bullshit. My target area, yeah, sure. The market listens to you, buddy. Yeah, you know exactly. No, it's not the way it works. But it sounds very precise, very expertise, very professional, very on top of things. And it's not about reality, it's about sounding good. I'm a 25-year professional. I'm going to teach you how to trade stocks. By the way, have you guys noticed how many of those advertisements are going around? I got my Lamborghini and I got my G5 or G5 or actually the G650. It's brand new. G is for Gulfstream, one of the most expensive private jets in the world.
Mic off. Mic on.
All right. We got another 15 minutes to go in the trading session. Price is falling, but within the context of this tight, tight, tight. All right. Within the context of this tight, tight, tight move that started last night. And if we were to pick the bottom of this move, which was right there, point of control is 3404. That's my target. Just kidding. Um, okay, 3405. Which is, you can eyeball it. You don't need this volume traded by, by price. You can see where the consolidation is, right? But to be honest with you, that's the only reason that I purchased TradingView, and the advertisements are fucking annoying. Nothing that I do, I pay anything extra for, so you guys shouldn't have to either, right? Can you get some more information? Sure, but the amount of money that you are trading and versus what it's going to cost you, it's not even worth it. It's not worth it. It's not like you're going to get some inside information or anything. You might get more up-to-date info, but you know you're looking at a trend. So do you need the up-to-date info? No, no. You're looking at the trend. Trend is what matters in economic data, not the actual number. That's why when you see people that run out and they're trading news, right? The Fed is not raising interest rates. Well, no fucking shit. you know. Well, it removed that, some piece of language in the thing. This is just garbage. It's crap. That's entertainment. You're wasting your time. Training is not about making up cute stories and guessing. Anyway, we're back into the value area where 70% of all trades took place within this area here, not the shaded one, right? We talked about how volume was really falling off here. We talked about how we were in the upper area of the daily move, the structure, all right? So not surprising. But again, this is a tight, tight, tight. Gun to head tomorrow, we continue higher to test this area here. This is going to be tested, I think. The likelihood. I don't have a for crystal ball, fortune telling bullshit. But yeah, I think this will continue to grind higher tomorrow, and then we're going to get some piece of news somebody doesn't like, and this will sell off. If not, well, then everything changes, right? We're going to analyze that. And the way we analyze that, take care of this. In the SPX is that it will start to grind higher to form the new lower high for an M pattern to the downside. Okay. And I showed it yesterday and the day before what M patterns are, the topping patterns. Broken structure, structure below a structure, right? We got 10 minutes left in the training session. 1, 2, 3.
Mic off. Mic on.
Look at that, into the close. 5 minutes left. And right back down. All right, 4 minutes left.
Battery low. Mic off. Charging battery. Mic on.
All right, into the close. Very boring day. I had my suspicions today that, that's what it would be. It would just be a grindy move up today, retracing yesterday's news. And that's why I did 30 minutes in the morning. I was kind of hoping we'd get more fireworks in the afternoon. That didn't happen. We're still in a tight move up. And, you know, you got the erection thing going. It's up against resistance. It's happy here for now uh, to close the day, right? Tight, 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 tight. All right, so we'll see what happens when it gets up here tomorrow. That 1541, whatever it is. Right, and then once this breaks and starts to correct, let's see what happens. The bigger picture, again, if it pushes all the way back up here, it's going to be the fourth time, 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth time, and then off to the races it will be once we clear this area. But we still have to contend with this roof of a house. If this starts to fail, it can really start to run. All right, really start to push lower. So it's not what I'm calling for. We're just waiting for the data to come in. I'm telling you what the likely scenario is, what we're looking for. Don't confuse the two. All right. If you guys want more uh, content when I'm trading, and they're not trading signals. All right, more mentoring and everything, come down to patreon.com/RealMacro, and you guys can learn how to do this on your own. It takes time. You're not going to be a day trader in a day. I'm going to give you trading signals so you'll be rich. Quit your day job. Nah, this is real shit. All right, so there's the sell-off, of course, into the close. All right, and there it is. Market closed 4 o'clock. Price came down. Value area is somewhere in here. I think I marked it. Where was it? Yeah, I didn't do it till 9. There it is. Yeah, value area is down here. Came all the way down. Structure was a rising F flag, blah, blah, blah. There was a fuckery move, and that's why I say, so long as it's within the structure, the bias to the upside, right? You got a fuckery move, garbage, but you sensed the subtlety that there's weakness when it didn't uh, rise all the way to the top of the channel. And again here, we talked about the volume tapering off. We talked about the price for the day. It was up near the limits. Ultimately, it sold off. All right. That's about it. If something were to happen, I might even do a video tonight if something happens. I think that is interesting. This is my new toy. I want to be uh, able to give you good content, but if it's a boring day like today, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. I don't move markets, unfortunately, to make them excited. All right, guys. Any questions? No? Good. That means I'm doing a good job. All right, guys. Take care of yourself. Talk to you guys tomorrow. I'm going to be away in the afternoon. Hopefully, I'll be able to come back in the last 2 hours of trading. So expect me to almost definitely be around then. I might do a live session tomorrow morning. All right? Take care. Have a great